Suck as if all this was like perfectly put together. That'd be boring.
Yeah, it's not be good. Well, I'll entertain you guys. First, oh, my headphone just went off. Whoa, what's going on here? That's a lot of backfeed, Michaela says.
Hold on, we're fixing it.
This is our first time. Was it ever perfect your first time?
Boom.
Too much information?
I got Anyway, what's up to everybody with the sloppiest intro ever? Just Jacob's here. Yo, what's going on?
We're live on YouTube?
What's that?
We're live on YouTube as
well?
We're
live on YouTube also. It's everywhere.
Oh, man. Okay,
Victor's here. Damien's here. Name Brand, of course, is here. Squeegee Puller's here.
I'm not even... Yeah. Good stuff. We tried to go live on TikTok as well. We went 30 minutes early this morning, or now, not this morning, but now. And then, yeah. So we're going to actually start coming on at 5:30 more as far as Mountain Standard Time, 7:30 East Coast, 6:30 all those states, and then 7:30 Eastern. That's good enough. 7:30 Eastern.
You should just be running on Eastern Time. Nobody cares about the Mountain Time anyway.
Yeah, we'll be good on that. And then we have one headphone over here because of TikTok. Oh man, you're just live. Your live keeps pausing.
Does it?
Yeah, nice. I don't know. Ooh, whatever. Just Jacob wants to know, Josh, are you going to let him become a sales rep?
Am I going to let who become a sales rep? Oh, Josh, Jacob. You going to let? Oh, him, just Jacob.
Yeah.
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
He's a liability.
I got to change the title of this live. We're pretty set up here. Like usually we're the most on time podcast. We have the best intros. We have the best outros. And that's just who we are. Our big question for all of you is, do you shut down in the winter?
I would love to know, because a big thing with winter is I'm from Wisconsin, where winters suck.
I've had this question comes up a lot whenever we start getting into like this time of year. Also, what happens this time of year that I notice is a lot of people start asking a lot of questions about why does my squeegee leave a bunch of solution on the glass, because you're dealing with colder temperatures. So this is like a big time for like newbies to get like used to the colder temperatures. So that's kind of a thing that happens around now. And then what else? Che, is Tom going to be a rep? Not sure. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, I think I broke TikTok. I think TikTok's done. I'm sorry. I'm just going to turn TikTok off. We'll try that another time.
Back to our homies on YouTube.
Anyway, yes. Yeah, so Tom, we are going to be bringing him on full-time as a rep, and I think he's going to be a great addition. I think that there's a lot of people that love him, and he's been in the industry for a really long time, so it should be really, really a nice kind of ad, I think.
Yeah, and what's happening with all the pure water power systems, I have no clue. I mean,
there's big things in the work with that brand. We're going to probably be changing things up a little bit and then bringing that in-house also as another kind of option for things. So we'll see how it all plays out. It should be very, very interesting, but it's an awesome pairing. It's very cool for him and us to kind of have this kind of togetherness, over all the years. So it's pretty good.
Yeah. Che is listening to us while he's doing hip thrust. Just in case y'all wanted to know, I'm hoping that's a working out motion.
Just so you know, Che, you're not the first person to listen to SteveO while doing hip thrusts. I think it's a pretty common thing.
Oh, it's so disgusting. Okay. All righty. Che, so many questions today. Two warehouses. I don't even know. I don't know much about this. I'm just a rep. That's all I do. I just sell things and enter orders and do this and wait for you guys to come on chat and just for hours and hours and hours. It's great.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Ask you what your favorite kind of end clip is.
Yep.
You like the Pulix or the Ettore better? We should talk about it.
Man, yeah, big differences in that. But seriously, guys, what do you all, if you are watching, comment with what you do in the winter. I know a lot of you all are in warm states, but what do you do in the winter? Or what would you do in the winter if you were in a cold state and you couldn't clean windows?
And chat and comment, because we want to hear. Also, tell me what your temperature is, because Wisconsin and Michigan already got snow, so
Yeah,
could be
that's
pretty crazy. But real quick, I want to touch on that, Che. 2 warehouses. No, we are not going to have 2 warehouses as of yet. We're still playing with that idea, but it is like a giant cluster blank of headaches. So we don't know yet.
I could imagine. Here it's pretty freaking nice. Here in the wintertime, you know, you can really like clean windows all year round in Colorado, like Damien said. So you really don't stop here unless, you know, we get some cold days, but honestly, we can get some like really, really warm days. Now you were doing snow removal in Wisconsin, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's like snow when you're doing snow, you're like Mother Nature's biatch though. Like you're stuck. Like either you are doing absolutely nothing or you're getting, you know, every time the snow comes or it's supposed to come, you know, 1 a.m. I'm awake, 2 a.m. I'm awake. We get to the office back at 2:15. It's like, you're always up to see what it is. And then you have to call people and then they sleep through and it's a huge thing. And then what ends up happening always is like, now you're like, oh man, we got so much window cleaning work to do and get before the end of the year. And then all of a sudden snow comes in. It's like, stop everything. Windows can wait. Snow can't. So now you're doing snow. So
right.
It was good though. I mean, it was like something that you could kind of like do at the same time, but
right. Exactly. Yeah.
By the way, I don't know if you shared it yet, SteveO, because we started this super sloppily, but if anybody's watching and you do share into like Pro Window Cleaning or any other Facebook group, that'd be genuinely appreciated.
Yeah, I can actually do that actually while we're talking here.
I'll field a question while you say that. So Nicholas G just said, can you briefly explain the financing process for large orders with WCR? And I can. This is not as boring as it's going to sound, but we have 2 processes. We have commercial leasing, which isn't auto leasing. It's not like, you know, 36 months, we take it back, right? That's just the commercial side. That's like 36 months. And then we also have an in-house program, which is super fast. And that is a 12-month max right now. So larger payments, but you get paid it off quicker. So both of those options, super fast. The in-house one, there's not even a credit pull on that. So if it's something you want to do, let us know and we can get you an app over for that.
Yes. All right, perfect. All shared out. I'm all good to go. What else? What's going on the past few weeks?
It feels like it's been forever.
I have something to talk about, which I have been using that I did a video on, but it was kind of a video, but not really a video on it, is I've been trying that Crazy Larry soap. And this is not any sort of ad or anything for it. I am really weird about soaps because I think with Dawn, it's super hard to have any soap that really you'd want to pay for to like have a better soap. But I was talking to somebody else about this, like right when I got the soap, I made a post on Instagram, got a bunch of messages from people and they're like, oh, you'll tell us the truth and you'll tell us, you know, how it is and stuff. Sometimes I feel like people don't think I'm telling the truth, but if there is a soap that I would honestly tell you all to try, that if you really like Dawn, I would really try out that Crazy Larry soap. It's a little bit pricey for what it is, but stays super concentrated. I really like that soap. I've been using it with like a Black Diamond and a Sorbo, and it was super nice lately. And TJ, I'm going to send you some. I'm going to just send you just a little small sample, just a little dime. It would be perfect for you. You'll love it. You'll love it more than your Ammonia and Dawn. You'll love it. You will love it. But no, I'm not just trying to sell something. I just thought it was a really good soap, and I'm almost done with the bottle, and I think I'm going to pick up about 5 of them.
Nice.
And that's pretty much all I'm going to use. But I thought I'd mention it
because to actually use it yet.
Huh?
I haven't gotten my hands on it actually to use in a bucket yet.
Do you think you'll use it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I will try it.
Yeah.
I have the Office just for Windows now, just for those videos that I need an editor because I don't have time to edit all the videos and things that I've created. So.
Oh no, you just do that on like Saturday nights when your family's having fun. You just sit down and edit videos. It's simple as that. Yep.
Yeah. So far it's been super fun.
Yeah. How are those videos going?
Good. I have to learn an entire program, so you know it's taken a little bit, but I feel like it's pretty down. I'm not plugging my YouTube channel here on SteveO's YouTube channel, but I got The 2 edits are up, and then the high rise edit will be up this week. So
Oh, nice.
I had a small computer glitch. My new computer gets here tomorrow. So
oh, nice. You ordered a new computer?
yeah, I'm not doing it anymore.
Nice. Yep. I hear you.
There's nothing worse than like your mouse lagging, or
Oh,
like
yeah.
the little things where it's like getting pecked to death by a duck. Like it upset. Like if the whole thing just crashed, I would be less upset than when stuff like stutters, or you like get in the middle of something, or you try to transition and it just like
Oh, yeah.
freezes.
I've done whole projects on videos and then had my computer crash and the whole thing gone. Like, yeah, hours and hours and hours. So yeah, it gets exhausting.
Yeah.
But yeah, what else is up?
That'll be good. Yeah, so when I don't even want to say it.
What?
But we're starting to get to those like cold temperatures. Snow's happening. We're out of hurricane season. Like it's happening. The end of the year is coming here. And I don't know what everybody thinks of this year. Was it a good year or was it a bad year? Because I keep seeing stuff every morning on the news about the recession is coming and this. And it's a 63% the recession is coming now. And I just don't know, man. Most people just seem like they're still killing it out there. So
Yeah.
it just doesn't feel like it's slowed. I mean, maybe kind of changed, but not enough that I would even say anything from it.
I feel like by talking to a lot of window cleaners, and you guys can tell me in the comments too, that maybe like end of August can be slow because the kids going back to school, but it seemed like September was a super slow month. And then it really picked up maybe right at the end of October. But that could be all just due to certain areas and what they're doing. But it did seem like there was a slowdown right there at like the end of September going in October.
Yeah. I think like recently in the past like week, it seems like it's really blown up again. Just the amount of people calling.
Yeah.
But
it definitely feels like that. Definitely feels like that.
Here's a real question. By the way, if you guys got questions, please ask. Put a bunch of asterisks in the front of it so we can pick it out as everything goes. But talk away. It's awesome. But Austin just said, do you feel like water fed is more of a maintenance cleans rather than the first initial deep cleaning of windows? I've used it. We had a pure water system in every truck and every single crew, and it was up to them if they used it. And very seldom did we not use it for first time cleans. I know a lot of people like to get it dialed in, and that even if it's a real or a mental thing, some people do like to kind of do it traditional first, just get it dialed in. If they're really, really gnarly, it's going to take you as long, if not longer, to water feed that first initial time. You can still do it.
Yeah.
It's just going to take you a while.
You can definitely get away with it on Mini. If it's something where what's a good idea to do is like a lower window, just go clean it traditionally and see like what it takes. If all you got to do is scrub it, use an abrasive like a white pad and it's clean, then I think you could pretty much do the whole house like that. But if you're like, you do that, there's still a bunch of minerals on the glass, you got to scrape, there's paint, just take out traditional, take out the ladder and do it that way. I still have homes today where like I've never used water fed on them once. I'll be quite honest, as far as like there's some homes that are just super easy to do traditional no matter what, you know? So like I see a lot of people get stuck in this area, and a lot of more younger guys get stuck in this area of like, I have to water fed every house. I have to water fed the first floor of every house. No, you don't. Also, another thing I've realized, a lot of people are super stuck on using 2 poles at every job. I myself do not get that. Like I get it for large commercials, but if you're
let's go back to that. How are they using 2 poles? What are they using 2 poles?
They want to use 2 poles on residential. Like everybody wants to use 2 poles. I don't know about you, but everyone I talk to, it's like, oh, I want a system that does 2 poles. Here's my question to you. Like, how big of a crew do you have to have on a home to use 2 poles? Like, I know that I was on a crew of 3. I would do all the pole work. I'd be done with the pole work by the other 2, done with screens and insides. We'd have just the basements left. So like what I just feel like that gets old hearing as far as like water fed for sure. But everybody wants that. But I mean, getting back to the point of like for first cleans, I think you can definitely do it. But if you, between like a walnut pad, a boar hair brush, I never put a scraper on a water fed pole. I think that's stupid. If you have to scrape anything, just do it traditional. But here's the thing too. How much are you doing are you trying to like do restoration, or are you trying to actually just clean the glass? Yeah. That's an interesting part of it too. Like what's included in your basic cleaning? Did you price for a deep clean?
This is like the most heated thing that I ever say to anybody is that it doesn't matter. Your cleaning doesn't matter. Like people get so stuck on the cleaning and they're like, oh, you do good. Well, good results and like crap results are different. Like you could do 90% still good. Like sometimes people are just like so finicky on everything that maybe they're on a different side. I would never leave bad stuff, but remember our job's to like look at glass and theirs is to look through glass. So we see a lot of different stuff, but
yeah. I think we always talk about it. Like, it's all the marketing of the business is really going to get you a whole lot of work. Like, yes, you will become known if you do good work all the time, but it just becomes like it's funny. You'll see comments on like social media, like TikTok, Instagram from like people that I had a guy on TikTok say, oh, I saw a small dot of soap in the corner of your window. Therefore that window looked like crap. And it's like, well, that's exactly why you should never be a window cleaner, because if things like that bother you, like you're not supposed to be an OCD person to be a window cleaner. That's not a good window cleaner. Like it's not going to be. I don't know. It's kind of what your customers expect, what you make your customer expect, I think, for using water fed pole for first time cleans.
Yeah,
I would do it.
I would also, if you have any questions, please do ask. But I do have a question. TJ said it, but has anybody gotten a call from either SteveO or myself yet asking about supplies for this year? Because TJ said you called him and wanted to be his rep.
Yeah. You should call me and enter an order. Dang it. Have you ever entered an order for TJ? Probably never, huh?
I probably have. TJ's awesome. TJ's like in my top 5 favorite people in the world.
He's a great person. This is true. This is very, very true. Hey, Austin here. Austin Sanderson has been talking about do you feel like, okay, we said that, but then he said, I just scratched some commercial glass on a new construction clean. I was using a razor on the insides, but on the first window I did outside, I used razor, and when I squeegee, the window had scratches. Ooh. From then on, I did not use the razor or any more windows outside and didn't scratch anymore. Let's see. What were you razoring off of these commercial windows? Was it a actual construction clean, or you just razoring some windows? That's actually, I'll be honest, probably the most glass I've ever scratched is commercial glass. That's the worst I've ever done on a window. Just absolutely scratched it up horribly.
I haven't. I've seen Fab Debris one time because it was on like tinted-y. They were really blue windows, so I could see it. Yeah. And I thought it was so cool. I brought all my guys over. It was like a house we did every 3 weeks, so I could just whatever. And we brought it over, and I was like showing them all the stuff in the transoms and things. And but other than that, man, I don't know. It's
hard.
Glasses, you can have different things. It's not the razor that scratched the glass. It's what was on the glass that scratched the glass.
Yeah.
So was it Fab Debris? Was it concrete? Was it whatever? And like TJ said, scrape everything. I scrape everything. I'm just never scared of the scraping thing. You could feel and hear it if it scratches. Just be done. Like everybody's so timid of it. It's like, it's cool. And you don't have to use it. It's just a tool. Like people who don't want to use water fed, I may think that you're not doing things the way I would do it, but you don't have to use razor if you really, really are scared of it, but I don't think you should be.
Yeah. And it's so easy to do like a small little test in the corner. And just like Josh said, like you can literally hear it. You can hear it like when it scratches. I've always tell people, if it sounds like you're removing a bunch of paint and there's no paint to remove, guaranteed you are scratching the glass. One thing I've seen though, I guess that I don't disagree with, or that I disagree with that's on YouTube is, and you might disagree with me as well, is the idea that a scraper just can't scratch glass.
I disagree with you.
Huh?
I wanted to start drama. Sorry.
I was at a house, man, like, I'd say 2 years ago, tempered window right in front, top glass didn't scrape at all, bottom window and I just saw the scratches immediately. 6 inches long, just everything. And it was.
So here's the thing.
Huh.
The tip of a razor and the density of glass, it is impossible for a razor to scratch glass. Now, if there's a film on that glass or there's something on that glass, that's what scratch. So when you say a razor can't scratch glass, I do almost kind of disagree with you, not just for the drama side of it.
Yeah.
But I kind of do, because when you go into like hardnesses and things, it's just not possible.
But here's the thing, though. Here's the thing is that you couldn't tell somebody that when you scratched it, you couldn't tell a customer, oh, I didn't scratch your window. I scratched the thing on like
No,
that's heat treated on the glass. So no, I didn't do it.
Yeah,
can just
you
take
still
this
did
layer
the
off.
damage, even if it
Yeah.
wasn't the razor. But when people are like
Yeah.
trying to, it's like, yeah, like guns kill people, and it's like, I can kind of see that if you use the gun to shoot somebody, then the gun is what killed the person. But you're the, like that's the kind of same concept where you're picking at straws. But there could be things on there. I've seen this happened one time to a guy of mine that was actually on our test windows. Where his scrubber scratched the glass. We had test windows that we had bought, and what it was because they were stupid and learned a valuable lesson. We're cleaning these windows all day long, came in and then took that same bucket from the day, left their mop in there. We were talking or whatever, pulled the mop out and started doing it. And all the dirt had collected in the bottom of the thing. So when they had the mop in there, when they picked it up, it was just covered in like little sand and things. And it just scratched the window, like right in our shop. And it was, of course, a stupid thing that none of us would ever have done normally. But so when somebody says it's a scraper that scratches glass, I mean,
well, it's true. Well, yeah, I get what you're saying in that. I think it's one of those things where I think it would be hard to.
Here's a question. I have a good question that goes on this is that, and I'm trying to go back to see who the heck said it, but someone said, yes, Spaz said, how do you construction clean on low E windows?
You know what?
You're not the construction clean guy.
I low E is one of the worst things I think imaginable.
It's a coating, any coating or tint, like.
But it is a coating that is just different. It's just different, and I can only think back to one clean that we did that every single window had that sticky E coating on either side. Where when you put your when you scrub it, it feels fine. But when you actually put your squeegee on it, it just stops.
Mm-hmm.
You can't.
It feels dry, even when it's not
feels dry. And it is like Spaz is saying, low easy is terrifying because like the moment that you hit it with like like steel wool or anything, there's like a purple hue. It's just super odd. I've razored it without anything wrong. I have done that. I haven't found any issues with that, to be honest with you. But I mean, I have messed them up with the most least abrasive things that you could ever imagine, to the point where now what I say with low E is I wash them with microfiber sleeve, I squeegee on my detail, I'm done. Like that's it. Water fed pull, never had an issue with it outside. I mean, it looks great. It sheets really nicely. But yeah, I'm to the point where I would never take a construction clean on with low E.
Yeah. I have a question there's 3,500 people watching right now, give or take.
3,500.
And I have a question for everybody. Just type either yes or no, but tell me if you construction clean. That's all. Just a yes or no. Because I would like to see how many people do and how many people don't. Because I do, but I know my builders really well. I don't think that I would pick up a new builder at all. It's just not worth it.
No, gosh. I just can't even. I did one recently with a company, but it was like, I think I told you guys about this last time. It was exhausting. And it was just one of those things, like after I got done, I was like, I hate doing it. Like I just hate it. I never walk away like happy. Every time you're just like, like, I don't even want to do it. Like, look at this. It's mostly no. You know?
Look at that. By the way, if you haven't answered yet, what are you waiting for? Answer yes or no if you construction clean, but it is overwhelmingly still yes.
That's a really good rule that TJ has. Only when paid extremely well, and I require half up front. That could be a very good thing to do with construction cleans. Now, I don't know how many construction companies, if you were new to them, would go for it, but if you definitely had a good relationship, I could see that working. We always, like when Jim and I did a lot of them, we always worked on an hourly rate. So they had to agree to that. And then we were all usually, it wasn't crazy. It was about $85 an hour, but that guaranteed, like we were going to walk off that job and feel okay about it. It might be frustrating, but it just guaranteed we weren't going to be screwed, on it. And that's what we always did. But I don't know. In my area, I have always found that any company that's reached out to me for construction cleans, their prices that they think they should be by these janitorial mom and pop companies are like $4 a pane, $3 a pane. And it's like that is never. I had a conversation with a lady like a year and a half ago, right? I said, man, the idea that you think that people are not going to pay like $10-15 a window for construction cleans, like you're so far off. Like people will do it if they want a good job done. If they want just a quick job done, then that's it'll be fine. But oh man, yeah, I think I remember us when we were at the high-rise thing, a gentleman talked about how he had a construction clean high-rise company. And I heard him say that. I was like, oh, that just sounds like the worst thing imaginable. The worst thing imaginable.
It's like a septic pumper. You're like, yeah, it has to get done, but I don't want to be the one doing it. Here's a question that I really want to poke the nest on this one. Are scratch glass waivers worth doing?
Do you feel like with scratch waivers that it's hard to get the actual person to sign it?
No, I have every single person I've ever cleaned windows for in the past. The last like 10 years of my company signed a scratch glass waiver if they were commercial, residential, route, anybody.
Do you feel like though that you get that from a lot of people that you would tell, say a customer calls in WCR and they say, oh, like what should I do for the what should I do for construction cleans? You kind of go through the steps of like cleaning a window construction. And then they say, well, what am I going to do if it's scratchy? You say, well, you get the scratch waiver. And then they say, oh, well, I don't know if they'll sign on that, because that's the answer I always get from people.
Yeah.
No one's going to sign that. And I've actually gotten that answer from a lot of construction companies locally. They're like, no, I won't sign. And of course we don't do it.
Yeah. But here's the thing. When people that say, no, I don't think they'd sign that, are also the same people who go, no, I don't think they'd pay more. They've never tried it. They're just telling you that they don't think that would pay more.
Yeah.
But signed scratch glass waivers, here's the thing. I would do one 100% of the time, only for the CYA, the cover your rear end factor, because it's just a thing to kind of give you more of a buffer, but it could be fought in court so stinking easy that they could catch you on negligence in a heartbeat, even with fabricating debris. Even if, I mean, look at all the lawsuits that have gone in the past of like, people have gone to court for fab debris and they've done microscopes and had the guys out there and they've taken macro photos and they're still like, you scratched the glass, so it's like having a sign that says beware of dog. If you know that your dog could bite people, then you shouldn't have a sign. You shouldn't have the dog. So it's like this thing is like, does the sign help you or hurt you?
I think it was you that told me this a few years ago. I remember asking you, I was like, hey, what would be like I think it was 3 or 4 years ago, but I wound up going and having a lawyer do it, a local lawyer in the state do it. And they wrote up like a really, really good one that, sounds confusing.
Yeah.
Kind of one. And it's really, really good. But luckily I haven't had to really use it. So would you do scratch waivers even with like a residential customer or all just construction?
I would do it every single person, every single time, if I used a razor or not. Every person had it saved.
Yeah.
Real quick. I just missed it now. They're coming in. Questions are coming in. Chase said, even with a waiver, can't you still get sued? And yes, anybody could sue you for any reason. It's the way that they win. But here's the thing. If anybody sues, you have to have the funds to be able to, like, people are like, should I get my name trademarked? No, you should never do that, because not only are you going to have a trademark, but now you're going to have to spend thousands, if not tens or more thousands of dollars to try to fight that. So somebody goes, oh, okay, I won't use it. It doesn't make sense for a lot of that stuff. It's the same thing with waivers. It's like, yes, it could still happen, but it has to get to that point. So this is one just quick job that I'm going to tell you about. I had a job that I did for a well-known architect in my area. And the guy was fine to deal with, but he had a fancy house, right? It was a fancy house on the lake and it was fancy, and he made sure to know that it was fancy. 3 windows in, my guys stopped and they said, hey, these windows are scratched. I said, okay, stop. As soon as you see a scratch, you stop everything. The whole thing shuts down. And then what we do is we prove that the scratches were already there, right? So I showed up. All the guys are off in the truck. We went through. We got the homeowner, brought him to all the windows that had not been touched yet, were scratched to shit. They were just garbage. And this is his fancy house. And he goes, these windows have never been scratched. I said, these windows have never been cleaned by us. Look at these things. They're still dusty. They're dusty, still dirty. And we had him sign the waiver from the very beginning. And the whole thing from that is he told us all about how he was getting a lawyer and, all this other stuff. And we were basically like, okay, hey, you got to do what you got to do. But from here on out, do not contact us anymore. Contact our insurance company, because guess what? Insurance company works for you. They're going to work really hard not to have to pay your insurance out. So they're like your lawyers to some degree. We had a retainer and a lawyer and all that stuff. Nothing came of it. And we actually had the guy himself who I had met through, we had done a bunch of stuff for another agency who he was there. So we saw him again. And I said, hey, man, I just want to say, I really apologize for everything the last time. He goes, it's not a big deal. He goes, you guys know what you're doing, though, blah, blah, blah. And I said, yeah, we stopped right away as soon as we saw anything. He goes, no, I'm talking about with the waiver. He's like, having the waiver there just instantly put a stop on everything. I knew that I couldn't get anywhere with you guys. And I was like, okay, so you still think that we scratched the glass, but yet, and he never went to anything, but that was one of those cases where it covered my butt only for the fact that if somebody signs a waiver, they think the waiver is going to protect you, and it's not even worth doing. Not that he would have won the case anyway. I mean, we had enough proof and pictures and everything else, but it kind of stopped there to that one. So, oh man, TJ.
Yeah.
There was so much to say. I had to tell you where everything came to make sense.
I was going to say, while you were saying that, though, Jason, I cannot pronounce your last name. Michael, I'm not sure. Guy here paid out $30K in glass with waiver. Client claimed signed under duress.
No,
Duress, that's a pretty
under
good-
duress.
Getting your windows clean and you're under duress.
Please clean my windows. Okay, I'll sign anything.
Don't take my money. It's going to be dirty in a day.
Oh, man.
Yeah, there was a famous story here in Boulder, and I've talked about it on here before. And there was a guy, he didn't even use a razor, literally got into a court case, and the customer said his sleeve actually scratched the glass, and it turned into a pretty big article that a lot of people sent me from like around the country. And I had talked to the guy once before this ever happened, and it was just a simple case of that. Once they got in court, there was no decision. Both of them just wound up paying their own court fees. The guy's business got shut down. The guy shut down his business because of how much negative publicity he got about it. I mean, this guy, you searched his business, these articles came up. I mean, that would suck. Yeah. I think that would be one of the worst situations, is like, it doesn't matter what you do. There's just so much stuff out there. Yeah, exactly. Damien said, super weird guy. Steve out here in Boulder. Was his name actually Steve? I don't know, but it was crazy. It was a really, really odd time. Roman asks, hey, so how clean is clean? Using just a squeegee and scrubber, or scraping, or using a white pad on some of those little spots? That's a good question. And that's what almost we were talking about with like the first time cleans, and that not so much with regularly clean commercial, but with residential that you don't clean all the time. A lot of times the sleeve doesn't do a good enough job, and you still find basically another layer of dirt, like either if it's very low level hard water or just needs to be scrubbed with abrasive. That's pretty usual on a residential from what I find.
I'll keep a 1-inch razor in my mouth. That's what I do. I keep my big one, like on my thing, but I always have one in the corner of my mouth. And that's because every job you get done and there's a little something, you just pull the razor out, flick it, you put it back, you're done. It's old school razor in the mouth thing that people hate on, but I always had a 1-inch razor for that little itty bitty stuff.
Just in your mouth?
Yeah. I just hold it between my lips.
Oh, man.
I got these giant
TJ,
lips.
TJ, you're muted because you said I look like Biden. Oh, mute. Mute. He said I look like Biden because I have a pen in my hands.
Steve always got a pen in his hand looking like Biden.
This is what I do all day, son. This is what I do all day.
Signing those contracts.
Right, exactly. Yes, Ben the window cleaner. Window cleaning is not perfect. We are only here to make things look better than they did before. That is the truth. Gosh, if anybody could just listen to that, like I feel like I say that so many times every week, is like just
no one cares like we care. That to get that through people's head is the hardest part, because as soon as we say this right now, people come in here and be like, it's all about the best results. The best results, there's such a fine line in the top 10% that I'm not saying do bad work, because if you do crap work and somebody sees you did crap work, you're not getting called back. But there's such a fine thing that we do the owl look, right? So you go like this one way and you do this one way, and you look at it at different angles so it catches light. If it passes the owl test, it's on in the next window. We just don't get callbacks. People are looking through the glass. They look at everything and they go like this. Oh, wow, it just looks so nice. When we're sitting here staring at every single little corner and fleck and spot and
Well, I was talking to someone about storm windows today, And they were saying how, I think it's one of their probably maybe fifth storm job. And it's the Pellas that you undo the gaskets and you pull out the window a little bit and then, clean it up. And then they said, and this job is taking them a few days. So they come back after one day and they look up and they see a couple smudges or a couple things here and there in the storm. So they go up, they re-clean it, they take apart the whole storm again, do it again. And so their question was like, do you do that? And right away I said, no. I said, think about how much work goes into a storm window. Like taking out, do everything. I put everything back together. I will not look at that window ever again. The next time I look at the window will maybe be from outside, just making sure everything's like done. But like storm windows, I always feel like, man, once that like 1, 2, 3, 4 are clean, that is clean. Like there's nothing else you can do there unless you just suck at window cleaning and you're just streaking everywhere. It's always going to look good.
And here's the other thing. If you really stop that, when you are all done, I promise you, this sounds so stupid, but we tell every single customer every single time, if you see any spots, streaks, or smears on your glass anywhere in any different light, because you're going to see it in the morning and at night, let us know and we'll come back and we will make sure that window's perfect. If you tell them that and they find something, we don't get callbacks. I haven't had a callback in probably the last 2 years that I had my company. Yeah. It was just for the fact that people think you're not trying to screw them because, they said they'll come back, but maybe I did see a little, maybe some, it's not worried about it. And they're just not looking for stuff either. But as soon as they find one thing on the glass, they will find all of the things on the glass. So know that.
Yeah. Yeah. Or another one big too, with like people get into water fed pole. They'll be leaving the job and the customer say, well, the window's still wet. And you'll get a picture of, hey, why is this look like this? And
Marcus just said that. Why is the window still wet?
Oh, really? Oh, yep. So, yeah, exactly. That happens all the time. And I get a lot of that from first-time water-fed pole users. Like, well, this looks like this. It's still dry. It's still
dry. Also didn't tell them, it's expectations. The only time somebody complains is when their expectations weren't met. If you tell somebody, hey, everything is perfect, it's done. What we use is just like a car wash. It's a spot-free rinse. The windows are going to stay wet, but I promise they'll dry clear. Okay, that's my expectation. It's going to happen.
At Just Jacob says, I thought this was supposed to be about how to sell root work. Root work was episode 17 that came up because we got on too fast because we were trying to figure out TikTok. But this one's about, do you shut down in the winter? But I think if you found anything about the show is that the topic usually does not get talked about much. So if you do come to this show and you're wondering, they're going to talk about the topic, usually doesn't happen.
We get off track because of people's comments, which is absolutely the main reason we do this, so we can talk to people.
Yeah. That's what we want, people's questions and see what they want to talk about. And that's what it's all about.
Here's one from Ben the Window Cleaner. Again, Ben the Window Cleaner wins the day on the internet. His questions have been the best, I'm pretty sure, unless somebody could beat him. But he says, are minimum jobs of $25 for storefronts worth it? What's your minimum on storefronts?
No, I would definitely, I think I was talking about this recently. I would boost it at least to like 35 or 40. I would just do it. Like, even if it's a window. Just
root. Sorry, everybody's just saying root windows,
root work. But yeah, I would definitely do it at that.
Yeah. What's your minimum on anybody who's watching? What's your minimum on route work or root work, whatever?
I bet a lot of people will say 25 to 20 or to 30, but like just make it 40. Like it will work. It will work. Yeah. I guarantee it. Let's see here. I thought that
Matthew Odette said, I don't personally go below 10. 10 is his minimum.
But I get what he's saying, though, but that's when I have large established routes there already, and that I could see that. I remember one time we made a deal with like a storefront for super low, but they paid for the whole year, right away. So that could be like a good way of doing that too. Like, okay, if we're going to do $15 for your 3-window storefront, then you're going to pay the whole entire year right up now.
Nice. Look at these 20, 35, 40, 25. Che is still lifting. His minimum is 225. James is at 20. Don't do a route work for so 150 is still his minimum. Doesn't do route work at all. Okay.
I think Che might be the strongest one in this whole thing here. Yeah.
He's like the buffest window cleaner.
Yep.
Here's a question for anybody. Is there anybody else who does not do route work at all? Like zero route work? Does anybody do zero route work?
There's so many people that hate route work.
so many people.
I
They
love it
just
so much.
like,
It fills such a niche, though.
but you know what's funny? Like that's rare. Like even having two people like actually like it, from what I found, there's like most people, because most people don't like to do the work that has to be put into build, to build it.
Yeah.
And that's the biggest thing I think, is that you still find a lot of people jumping around or driving, hours for different jobs. And that's the hard thing. And I've only seen like a few people do it and make really, really nice, days out of it.
By the way, let's just spotlight Alex Tries. He said that he took our advice and upped his 150 minimum on residential. Remember, he was the guy, I want to say, that his minimum was like $99 or something. Remember, like a couple weeks ago, we were like, dude, you got to up it. And he said not one person has dropped him yet. So that's absolutely amazing. Like, you just increased your pay by 50% as your minimum. Like, that's huge. Congrats, man. High five for that.
Corey Williams asks, do any of you guys leave cards with price on the doors for route work after hours and get any feedback?
Sounds like such a forced word, like you're like not a native speaker.
Route is just what it's supposed to be. Now, I think Siri would pronounce route in the correct way, but
no, yeah, let's bring Siri into it.
We won't go into that.
She doesn't say anything wrong.
Here's my thought about putting, I think probably a lot of people do it, about putting like a price on a storefront. I think it's so much more worth your time to wait until they're open. And this depends on the kind of storefront, on like what their busy hours are. Never go into a busy business of any kind during their regular business hours of like when they're busy and expect a good answer. Yeah. So maybe like just after they just opened or just, I don't know, off hours is what you want to do. But having the conversation with someone and making them remember you is going to be so much more than putting that time in of going out there, writing a price on a card and doing it. And do you know why you're doing that? Is because it's the lazy way. It's the easy way of doing it. Guaranteed, if you put the work in to like do it the harder way, you will get the results for doing it the harder way.
I'm gonna piss people off for the second time tonight, but like clip flyers and like throwing gravel in a baggie and throwing that on the concrete, I hate that so much. I hate that not only did you litter on my property, you are being lazy at doing it, and now I got to pick up your garbage, and I know who you are because your name is on the litter you threw in my driveway. I hate it, but I know people like it. But it is absolutely just like super, super lazy.
TJ asked me, Root is, or Nathan has asked me, Root is not how it's spelled, Steve. So ask Siri to give you the route for somewhere, and then type it in route and then see what she says.
Route.
Route.
This is a route. You say route. I say route. You say route. Great.
If I do that at home, Alex hates me. We got another good question here. How would you know if there's a good market for window cleaning? And that is from Simply Dangeroso. So, man, it's a good question. I'll let you take that one away. I feel.
Are there windows in your area? Boom. Answer.
There you go.
There's so much glass out there that there's enough work for everybody, because here's the thing about any business. There are businesses out there that are garbage, and the only reason they have work is because you haven't taken it yet.
Yes.
You will always be able to have a better business no matter what company you get into, because there will always be some people who don't like them. And if they're doing great work, well, then you could take second place. That's still fine, but then be a better company. There's enough work for everybody. Jason
M just answered everything for you. It's it's Route 66, not Route 66. Are we right?
So you're pulling out like a country song from
No.
Jason is probably also a hashtag 2-clip guy.
Oh man.
Jeremy Pummel, the man himself, just said there's a second place. Exactly.
Alex, I don't know how to pronounce your last name, but you asked how much did you charge per window? I'm in Colorado. There's a lot to that question. You actually said it Colorado. In Colorado, the typical, I think the minimum window for like residential, I would definitely stick at like $8 a pane for sure. Commercial, I think you'll find there's some people out there that like to do pretty high prices, but I think anywhere between $3 to $4 could be a pretty good price to get everything started. Hopefully that'll help you. I'm in Colorado as well, if you didn't know that. Colorado.
Jason's a no clip guy. He's using like an Unger Tooths or Mormon or something.
man.
Yes, Alex Trace. 2-clip in Colorado. That's actually how you say it. Actually, how he hashtagged it. That's like almost how like Colorado. So you have to say
I know
rat.
you talk funny, but I didn't know that was like how other people said it. I thought that was just you.
Nope, Colorado. And then other people say Colorado. I can't even say it.
You know, Steve is originally from Finland. He was born in Finland, moved here to the United States when he was, 22 years old, something like that?
Jacob just said he's been using 1 clip, so we're going to mute him.
Jacob, I will unmute you, buddy. You keep being awesome. Katie, the WC, he could get muted, though. 2 clips.
The 1 clip, 2 clip is kind of died. I think we need to
died.
bring it back with some swag.
Hashtag 1 clip right now if you're a 1 clip guy.
Oh my god!
Oh, it's such a great argument of nonsense. It's like soap wars.
Like,
I like John. I like Glass Gleam. If I put both of those in a bucket, you would not be able to tell which one was which.
For which ones?
Glass Gleam and Dawn.
You could tell. Yeah, like Dawn would just go right to the bottom of the bucket. Glass Gleam kind of sits on top. It's darker blue.
Yeah, well, I'm talking. Oh, you must use a lot of soap. I don't use a lot. I use like 3
You
gallons
use
of water.
little-
I use like a quarter. Yeah,
Put it in your hand and put your hand in, and that's how you make your bubbles.
I don't put it in my hand anymore, but I just go. I don't make bubbles. I have no bubbles in my soap.
Squeegee life. I stay 1 clip because don't need to because I'm a real shooter. Yep, 1 clip. I will have a water fit in my cart and run it. Thanks, Jeremy Pummel. I'll get that for you right away.
Jeremy is my favorite guy. He's just so smart.
Oh man. What else is going on here? Do we have any questions? We got into this. Here's a great question for you from Nick Moosey. What's the best way to advertise for residential and rural areas? Oh, it's a good one.
Think about the best bang for your buck. How can you, especially in rural, right? You don't want to hang flyers, right? How do you get to those rural areas the fastest, bestest, and cheapest? And it's EDDM. That's my vote in rural areas.
I think I'd agree with you.
Because the nice thing about rural areas is you're getting it even cheaper because they're only able to have 180 people. 180 people on their like list.
Alex Trace. 3 count on Dawn is for the window cleaner. 6 count on Dawn is for the customer show. Exactly. Just makes it more fun.
You gotta make it foamy for the TikTok.
Yep. That's all it's about. You just got to make it soapy. That's it. How do you pronounce rural?
Did I say rural?
Rural. I don't know. That's how I pronounce it. Rural. This is a freaking grammar class. Like, what the hell?
I'm the one that's supposed to be talking funny with my Wisconsin accent.
Yeah. Local business groups. I'm in one and did 60,000 this year in a very rural area. Didn't pay $1 for advertising. Nice. That's pretty good.
Very nice. Rural areas are tougher because of the drive time, but you still have to find your niche. You still have to find why somebody wants you in your USP, and you can still make it work even in rural areas.
Yeah. Here's a fun question just for curiosity. How long have you been cleaning windows? Comment with how many years you've been cleaning windows. I basically just kind of want to see how many just new people are in here. Don't be scared. And how many veterans are in here as far as watching as well, just for fun. I just kind of want to know. I do feel like my channel gets a lot of newbies. It's mostly the content that I make though, but then I get some old time veterans as well. See, boom, boom, boom.
Look at that.
Wow.
Look at that.
Yep.
5 full-time, 7 total, 5 years, 20, 30. Man, since 99.
Vicious Triplets had a great idea. Basically, shut down in the winter. What am I going to do? Sell my body? No. You don't have to do that.
That's right.
Hose in or out of the water-fed pole? That's a great question as well. I'm an in.
I'm an in.
Uh-huh.
Got to go in. Inside.
Okay.
Inside.
Oh, Squeegee Live. I'm only here because you guys never interact on our show. Should we out here being mad, disrespectful? Oh, man.
By the way, TJ has a show. If you've never seen Squeegee Live podcast, he has a podcast and he has now moved it to Thursdays, which is my date night, and I do not get to watch anymore.
And then my Thursday nights are in front of chat all Thursday night. So yeah, sucks.
But one clip. See, TJ, he's top 3 favorite people in the world.
He's probably actually just lying. He wants to make you feel good. You know, he knows you're down. He says, "Yeah, I'm gonna make you."
He accomplished it. He accomplished it.
Yep. I'm just gonna let him know. Why not?
He accomplished it.
Why not? Should we do a? Oh man, holidays are coming up.
This
feel
is
like we should do some sort of giveaway at the holidays coming up.
We should.
Yeah.
We should do like some kind of thingy thing.
Oh, a thingy thing. So
like
what
an
the
actual planned thingy thing.
Oh no. So here's what we'll do. I'm gonna plan it right now, right here on this podcast. We're gonna do a mystery giveaway. You're never gonna know what the item is. It may be a WCR track cleaner. You will not know. You'll never know. But next show, I'm gonna do what we did like, I don't even know, 7 episodes ago. And I'll have the gleam and you guys will enter. You don't need to do anything to enter, just enter, and then we will do a giveaway. Also, what we may start for the next time is the style of chat where if you do want a question put at the top, you pay a little bit. All of that money will 100% go into giveaways. We are not going to take any of it at all. I will be most honest with you guys as far as all the money that comes in. If that works out and that's a thing that actually people want to do, I don't think it's a thing that really people want to do, but it's becoming a huge thing on YouTube. So we're gonna give it a go. I've never been one to do like any sort of, none of that. It's just too much. It's not something like Patreon. It's just not something I want to get involved because it was just something more to have to do. But I figured why not, and you could be like TJ, use the super chat for weed. It is what it is.
That's pretty awesome. That's pretty awesome.
Here's a good question from Ben the Window Cleaner. How do you know when it's time to add a helper to your current window cleaning route?
Yes.
Yeah.
There's a catch-22. The hardest catch-22 in the whole industry is that you either have too much work, but you don't have enough work for a guy, right? Nobody's like, well, I just did 80 hours this week. I better hire another guy so we can both have 40. So it's like, do you hire before you really need them, or do you get overwhelmed and have more work than you can so you can throw, like, what do you do? Like the most you could do before you hire somebody is like 50 hours of work. Then you hire somebody. Now 2 people got 25 hours of work. You just go sell more. So
exactly. That's the thing is that you can't get like, once you hire more, then you got to go start selling. So what I would do is every time that during the winter, when say if there was 2 of us on our crew, sometimes we would roll with 3 just for like fun because we just didn't have anything to do, but we kept everybody working. So when they were cleaning, I was always selling, always. Yeah. Just always going into stores. There's just no reason not to. Yeah, that's your new job when you decide to take that on. And then that will snowball, that will grow, that'll be bigger. It's just a decision that I think some people, what they do is they say, oh, the work's coming in, so I can just hire someone. We're going to stay busy. And then I'm just going to mess around and go get food or coffee, whatever, while that person works. And boom, things start tanking in. And then in 6 months, you got to fire your guy.
Yep.
I've seen it happen.
It's really, really hard. Hiring is the hardest part. Become as efficient as you can before you hire. Like this is a sales thing. People think that it's me selling, I swear. But if you don't have water fed, get water fed before you hire somebody. Like if you're doing a lot of route work and you don't have an accelerator, get an accelerator and be like you can be more efficient in what you're doing before you bring somebody else on. That's at least my opinion.
Oh man.
Now I got to go watch. Did I miss something?
I think TJ's comment might be one of the funniest things I've ever read. But I just don't
chucks weed.
The butt chucks weed. Here's a good one.
Don't ever share a bong with TJ.
Yeah, don't ever do it. You don't know how it will taste. Ben the Window Cleaner. Why did all window cleaners leave YouTube years ago? I don't think all window cleaners left. There was definitely an age or a time that YouTube, and here's the thing that happened is that there's always been the Facebook groups, right? Like pro window cleaning, stuff like that with a lot of people. There's a lot of members when YouTube kind of like popped off with like Wagga, Luke, I'll even put like Poles and Blades is in there, Tradman, Window Joe, Fluff Daddy. That was the time where I started pushing hard. I started back in actually 2012. But what are you saying over there? Huh?
Nothing. You just sort of said that's when you were pushing hard.
Yes.
I was looking for somebody to screenshot that.
Exactly.
No, you
but
know what it was,
I
though?
guess-
My opinion,
yeah.
as being a YouTuber, you're going to appreciate his opinion. But it was like the thing that people just, oh, this is so cool. We should do this. We're YouTubers. And they're like, this sucks. I'm putting in a lot of work and getting nothing out of it. Nothing. Like, everybody thinks that, hey, if you do YouTube videos, you're going to make $1 million and have these subs and all this other stuff. And it's this whole thing. And then they realize that it's not really kind of what that's doing. So I think people just fizzle out. Even Luke, where he was, you know?
Here's the thing that you don't see that happens in the background that I know that TJ could even speak about is that even though you do so much on YouTube, now what that shares to others is that now that's all you do. Yes. So then once you put out there a way for people to contact you, that turns into, oh, you gave me all this content on YouTube, but now I want more of your time. Hey, sorry, I'm just busy this weekend. Oh, F you. I thought you were always here for us. That happens way more than you ever know. Like way more than you ever know. And that's what makes people hate it. And one of those things where one person ruins it for the others. And then that's why you see people leave, is because no longer does it have any sort of invested interest for the person whatsoever, even beyond just what they originally want to do was help you. But then somebody ruins the whole entire thing. So like I watch a lot of stuff on, because of how many social media accounts I have, I bet you I could go through my social media accounts and show you 25 to 30 troll nasty messages a day from people. I get nasty emails from people who just think that I am there for their disposal. And it's just, that's why you see a lot of people leave. Guaranteed.
As soon as somebody doesn't care about your time, right? Like, you know, I got a ton of great people who are like, you know, they'll put stuff, hey, when you get a second, and then there's a lot of people who they'll text you something. You're literally in the, I mean, I don't leave a computer, especially today, for 13 hours. I'm in front of my computer. And then, you know, 15 minutes goes by, middle of the day, we have everything else going on. And the guy, just, hello, are you even going to answer? And it's like, see, I got a bad taste. Like all the things that I do that I don't get paid for, that I feel like YouTube comments or YouTube videos and stuff that you're doing, you don't really get paid for all those enough for what you get put into it. So a lot of it has to be a warm and fuzzy feeling for you. Like truly have somebody go, Steve, like you helped me. I'm a window cleaner because of you. Like there still has to be that. As soon as that disappears, it's like, no, not doing it.
And here's the other thing too, is that I would say that I was saying, I don't know if I said this before we got on or after we got on, but I feel like YouTube is dying out. I think one of the reasons why YouTube is dying out is that basically Instagram will pay you tons for videos. Like it's crazy. If I could tell you all one thing to do, if you want to make like some just like easy money in window cleaning and you want to like post videos of you window cleaning, go on Instagram, start posting videos of that. That is going to be more fun, and you get to show off your work. You get to show off your work you get to show off your work to customers and other window cleaners. You get to have both interactions. And if you monetize your Instagram, you will do way better than on Instagram than you ever do on YouTube. What you can get to on Instagram in 2 months will take you in the window cleaning industry 10 years. No freaking joke. And this is something I've learned recently as of late. And it just like opened my eyes to that. YouTube is really, really dying out, and it's all due to monetization. So if you're not looking to monetize at all, then it's nothing for you. But I would say that, it's dying out because there's so many other things that can bring you that idea of so much more followers. I don't know if it's really bringing more followers, but like Instagram. Okay, I'll say this, and this is not to gloat at all, but what you can do is like a simple video that goes and does of you cleaning suds off of a window, and it does 5 million views, you make $500. Just like that. Like they have a limit that you can get to every month. But if that's what you're looking for, because I feel like a lot of the people that were trying to go on YouTube, they were looking for like, how can I make some extra cash? So that's what I'm going off of. I'm not going off of that we're all doing that, but I think that could be
So just for everybody in the group, all you need to do is have a video with 5 million views. That's it. That's
It's
Steve-O.
so easy these days.
He's
So
broke the code,
easy.
guys. What are we out here cleaning windows for? All you have to do is do
So-
that.
It's so
My
easy.
TikTok is a garbage TikTok account, and the best video I have is of Steve-O. That's the crappy world that we live in, by the way.
But I'm telling you, man, I just feel like YouTube's dying. It just is.
You know,
Like-
you know what? When I was younger, my trust fund paid me $500 million. But you know how I got to $1 billion? I made my coffee at home, and my trust fund gave me another $500 million. It's like,
But take advantage of
5
this.
million views.
What I'm trying to say is take advantage of this very odd thing called oddly satisfying. This new thing of oddly satisfying is just taking over all of this stuff, and it's all us cleaning people. If you want to have fun with it and you want to have fun with content, I just don't see any reason of you not doing it. That's all.
By the way, Jeremy Pummel's also now in my top 3, I think.
Why? What did he do?
He just said that he loves the magazine, the American Window Cleaner magazine. I don't know if you've heard of it.
Okay. Yep. You know what? And it's about that time. So did you want
This
to
is probably one of my favorite shows that we've done so far. The comments, you guys have been literally amazing. So thank you for absolutely everybody who's commented. It's really means a lot.
Let me ask one question. Let me ask one question. Is it better when we like don't announce this and we just come on? Because it's funny when we announce this, we get less people. When we just do it, there's way more people. So if that's a thing, let me know.
Yeah.
Yep.
And one more comment, so everybody can think of one more thing that everybody can post an answer to, so we get even more chats. Think of 1 clip or 2 clip. All you gotta do is tell us 1 clip or 2 clip. Everybody comment, because we're gonna have 1 billion comments, and then this is gonna get even better.
Yes.
Anyway.
All righty. Well, that is the end of this show. So our next show lines up to be Halloween, and I don't know if we're gonna have everybody here, so maybe we'll do it on that Tuesday night instead. But I'll talk to Josh about that, and we'll figure it out. So
We'll see.
Yeah,
Figure it out.
So
We'll wing it, because that's how it works.
if you do put 2 clip in the comments right now, you will get maybe an extra entry into the giveaway.
Don't listen to him. Don't listen to him. If you put 1 clip, you get 3 extra entries into the.
You might get -1. Jeremy, real quickly, I do not miss my van. I do not miss my van because for me, it made sense to get rid of it. It was an amazing vehicle, but I got my truck now. I love my truck. I love both situations, but I would tell you that the van was the best as far as I ever had between the ProMaster and the Transit, the 100% best. It just didn't make sense anymore. So now I got the truck, but if you're ever looking for a really good van, I mean, that Transit, they're stopping making it, but yeah. That's it. So you have shameless plug, or you did shameless plug?
Yeah, I'm sorry. If you haven't checked it out yet, look at the American Window Cleaner magazine. Jeremy loves it, and get a subscription. We're literally in a really big push right now. Just go to awcmag.com.
Free stickers all the time.
Free stickers.
Yep.
SteveO even used to write in a magazine.
I used to write. Not a good writer, so I stopped.
Great writer. He's a great writer.
All righty, y'all. Elijah, hello. Good to see you here. Zachary, great to see you. Good to talk to you today. And we'll see y'all in a couple weeks. Oh, Craig's still waiting for his magazine. Make sure you send